Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here, back again with a video wearing my one Italy tops. Talk about one of my footballing ideas. I know I've talked a few times on this channel about wanting to cover something different and different topics, and try not to repeat myself too much. I know because of my patterns, I sometimes repeat things, but this is not going to be one of my videos as such. Not like one where I do it in part 1, 2, and 3 and all that kind of thing. This is going to be a bit different, because I'm not sure if I can come up with that many ideas for it. But anyway, I thought for a bit of fun I'll talk about football, because it's Friday, and also like one of my ideas and a bit about how the idea came about. The All India group, or the All India Party, I think is a political party in India. I don't know much about it, I must admit, but it's a political party that I think includes my own people, so to speak, like Anglo-Indians and possibly some other minority groups. And I think it'd be great if the All India Party was a group that had all possible minorities from India, like people from different religious groups and like Anglo-Indians as well, and Muslims, Sikhs, Hindus, Buddhists, or whatever other religious group, or even some of the Africans. There are not many Africans that live in India, but even the ones that do, like other groups. As I say, Anglo-Indians or other mixed race groups, possibly even white minority that still lives in India, or whatever other groups. So that includes people from all different backgrounds, not just the majority. But I came up with the idea for an All Italia Football Cup, or tournaments or leagues and things like that, Tournies as I call them sometimes, and whatever events can be made. And the idea being it sort of hopefully unites Italy together through like a tournament where all different teams from different areas play, and maybe like the winning teams can play against professional teams or things like that, or lower level teams could perhaps play against top level teams. So I'm hoping to look into all possible ideas and that sort of thing. And so yeah, I thought of the All Italia Cup, and then another idea I had was the All Italia versus All India Cup, where all possible teams, all possible people from India play football with all possible people from Italy, so they practice together. And then because of the partnership I want to make somehow with China and India, which if you've seen my video about Chindian partnership, you'll probably know a bit about. But yeah, so hopefully that made sense. But yeah, so I was thinking China could do something similar, where they have an All China Cup, and like in sports, in different sports. But so Asia could have like, and then I thought, because I want to unite Asia together as much as possible, I thought there could be the All Asia Cups and All Asia parties and things like that, which try to, or maybe even there could be Pan-Asian parties that try and bring Asia together. And so it could bring people together from across Asia to play football with people from Italy, and improve the relation between Italians and people from across Asia, China, India, and the rest of Asia as well. And through football come together. But like in the case of Asia, there could be Asia Cups for cricket, kabaddi, or different sports that are played, especially in Asia, or all sorts of sports. And maybe China and India could improve relations through things like learning each other's sports and things about each other through sport and things like that, and politics. But in the case of Italy, because I only support Italy for football, and I want them to practice as much as possible in football without distractions from other sports, I only want them to focus on the football thing. Another idea I thought about was, I hope that all made sense, by the way. Please feel free to write any questions or comments as ever. Another thing I thought was that, try to remember my train of thought, sorry. Another thing I thought was that Alitalia, which is the airline, I don't know much about it, but I know it's the national carrier for Italy, the national airline as far as I'm aware. And I thought it's quite strange, because it would be quite an irony, because Alitalia sounds like All Italia to me. So I thought it'd be great if Alitalia could perhaps sponsor this tournament, the All Italia Cup, and also like or cups, tournaments, leagues, again, that sort of thing, or whatever can be made, whatever can be developed. Excuse me. And I thought maybe other sponsors as well, not just Alitalia, but Alitalia could be one of the main ones. And even wealthy individuals and business owners in Italy, or people from the diaspora, or even other companies from outside of Italy could sponsor this tournament. And also like Asian and Italian businesses sponsor these sorts of football tournaments, and like sponsor, hopefully that will help them to practice more as well. So and also like sponsoring academies, which I hope to come to in the future. On Tuesday, all being well, if I get the chance, I want to talk about some of the sponsors. I hope to sponsor Italian football again as well. I hope they will fundraise to sponsor academies and things like that. Silvio Berlusconi and people like that, perhaps sponsoring or funding training academies across Milan to develop young Italian players. And I know he was the owner of Milan, so AC Milan. So I don't know, but maybe he could sponsor something for all of Milan, so even the rival team Inter could still practice. Again, I'd love to know what you think about my ideas and whether you think they're a bit too out there, or whether they're just cool out of the box thinking, or whether you think they're workable or not, or how cool you think they could be, especially obviously if you're a football fan, and in particular Italian football fan. So hopefully this was something covered a bit different. Again, I hope for Italy to have the All Italia Cup, possibly sponsored by Alitalia, the airline, who could perhaps sponsor the flights and give footballers free flights or at least reduce flights, depending on the finances, towards maybe the internal flights in Italy could be free, and then flying abroad can be reduced, at least they get 10% off, or even 50% off, or whatever, or maybe even if it's good enough for their PR, maybe the footballers will get free flights even overseas to play in Asia, especially, and maybe other parts of the world as well. But in this specific instance, I'm hoping to think of the All Italia to All Asia Cup, which hopefully will bring Asian nations together as well, and help Italians to practice. And also, in the future, if that goes well, there could be an All Italia to All America Cup, or the All Italia to the Americas Cup, or All of the Americas Cup, or something like that. Different names could be used. All Italia to All Africa Cup, where they practice against different teams from Africa, across Africa, as many as possible, and at different levels, especially at youth level. And other companies, if Alitalia sponsors flights, makes flights as cheap as possible, preferably free for the footballers, then maybe other companies in Italy could offer free footballs, or free football boots, training equipment, socks, or whatever. Need to drink my tea to catch a breath. Or drink that before it gets cold as well. Anyway, I think, sorry, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so thought as much sponsorship into Italian football as possible. So I've been thinking about the idea. I thought I'd cover it. Hopefully you find it fun. I'm just trying to think. I'm sure there was something else I was going to say, but I can't quite remember. This often happens to me. This is my train of thought, because I think of too many ideas, so I don't take too much on. But yeah, in the past, I also said, I think that was what I was going to say, banks, different banks, if whoever joins an account with that bank could get free football for their children, or free sports equipment for their local school, or football equipment, or free, or the bank could use it as part of their PR, that they sponsor football pitches, places of sports, football in each possible park or all possible place in Italy, and get as much practicing as possible. The Italians to practice as much as possible. So that could be, as soon as someone joins, it could use it as part of its PR, to say, as part of its advertising and that sort of thing, which I suppose is part of PR, which would say if you join this account for this bank, we give this much away for bases for sport and places for sport and things like that, footballs for local children and things like that. And or if they have sponsored that amount, they could then say we've given away this much money for footballs or local football teams, or we're planning to give this much away in the next 5 to 10 years. So hopefully that would be good for the PR. And again, other companies in Italy and companies that want to invest in Italy could do something similar. So as an Italian football fan, I think that would really hopefully help Italian football as much as possible. But yeah, maybe I'll think of more ideas. I might either make another video about this, or any ideas I've forgotten, or write any new ideas or that come up in the comment section, or anything I've forgotten as ever. Again, I'd love to hear what you think, especially if you're a football fan, in particular Italian football fan. And yeah, if you give me a mark out of 10 or something, tell me how workable you think my ideas are, if I dare ask. But I thought I'd share the idea anyway, and see all the ideas, because there are quite a few of them. And you can always ask me any questions as well, and see how far it goes. And you never know, maybe in a few years, people I'll have an idea that I've been proud of that has worked, and hopefully helped Italian football to be better. yeah, I'm probably muttering to myself or talking too much now, so I think I'm going to wrap this video up. And thanks for watching. If you watched it, and please give me any likes and share the video. Peace and love.